This week in gaming and tech news, Valve are fighting back against the state of New York, Copilot is coming to Xbox, and also we've got a lot of controversy with Nvidia announcing DLSS 5, so we'll have a look at that. And there's a lot more, so let's get into it. The first story I'm going to go over is an update on the lawsuit with Valve in the state of New York. And if you didn't know, the lawsuit is about Valve promoting illegal gambling in its games through in-game loot boxes in CSGO and Dota 2. There's been a public statement from Valve's side saying it is disappointed at the decision and doesn't believe the mystery boxes in its game violate the state's gambling laws. In the statement, Valve also says first heard from the New York's Attorney General regarding its virtual items in mystery boxes in early 2023, and in that response it noted that these boxes were widely used not just in video games but in the real world, with generations growing up on opening blind boxes and bags and selling these items they receive. Valve also said this is popular products like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering and Labubus. Valve also highlighted its efforts to shut down accounts found to be using Valve game items on gambling sites in violation of the Steam subscriber agreement, and as well as efforts to combat fraud and theft of other user items. Valve also stating they do not cooperate with gambling sites. They've locked over 1 million Steam accounts that have broken these third-party policies. They've also shipped features like trade cooldown and trade reversal to discourage gambling sites. So yeah, I'll leave the article in the description below if you want to have a further read. But they're basically saying that they're not the only ones to have this type of mechanic. It's in real life as well. It's down to the court on what they do decide. But Valve are saying they've put in measures and that they think that they're complying with the state regulations. Now personally, I do feel like Valve does take some responsibility. There's been a lot of CSGO gambling and they definitely make a lot of money from that. People playing the game just for the trading. I've watched a lot of CoffeeZilla videos about the CSGO gambling scene and how dangerous and addictive it can be. I've seen different countries react. Germany getting the X-ray so you know what you're going to get before you open it. Regulations put in place in Belgium with EA. So you've definitely seen these companies react differently. And also recently on this is that games with loot boxes will be a PEGI rating of 16 across Europe and in the UK. So that is something good. I guess I do think that is needed just to the age restriction. I personally don't know how this develops. I'll definitely keep you guys updated, but this could end up being quite big. Valve might have to change a lot of mechanics in their games, how the marketplace works. I'm personally not someone who really uses it. I do think there needs to be something done. Gambling's never a good thing and it's becoming so common nowadays because there's so many platforms, so many things you can bet on, and people are kind of desperate. They want that money. Who doesn't want the money? But I guess always having the hope, it's like the lottery. So what do you guys think of this? Do you think loot boxes do count as gambling? There should be more regulations put in on those loot boxes specifically. I don't argue that there should be more to prevent gambling. It's getting minors involved in gambling. So I definitely think there needs to be something done with there, but I don't have the answers. We just have to see how this develops. Next! Okay, Microsoft have announced an Xbox mode coming to every Windows 11 PC. Similar to like the SteamOS interface, this is definitely needed because Xbox are in the handheld market. I definitely feel like it is more tailored to that. Also just something to provide, if you just use your PC, your laptop for gaming, it provides you that user interface. And I do think it's definitely needed. I personally probably won't use it on my PC just because I do use my PC not just for gaming, but it might be quite good. This is starting in April as well, bringing like a full screen Xbox mode. No Microsoft, they still will probably be quite buggy. Also, Microsoft pulling away from everything as an Xbox campaign, where you could use cloud gaming on every device, your fridge, your phone, your laptop, and that'd count as an Xbox, they were saying. But in turn, that kind of ruined Xbox. That isn't in particular what killed Xbox. There's a lot of mistakes Microsoft have done with Xbox. But if everything's an Xbox, that also means nothing's an Xbox as well. Because there's nothing special about it, and why would anyone buy an Xbox if the device already has an Xbox? So with the newer generation, I definitely feel like they're going to pull away from this. It just didn't work. And they do need to communicate what they're actually selling their customers. They are also releasing Xbox dev kits in 2027. So that's actually a lot sooner than I thought it would be. So developers will be able to start working and optimizing their games for the new Xbox. I do really want to see what Xbox's vision is, and seeing how it goes. I do have a special place for Xbox in my heart. Definitely downhill for a while now. I did have a bit of hope for Xbox. They're saying all the right things. When you hire their ex-head of AI and put them in the Xbox, you already knew it was a matter of time before they announced that the Copilot coming to the current gen Xbox console this year. And I did think it was a matter of time before they would do this. It was the only platform really from Microsoft that didn't have Copilot. Even Microsoft Paint has AI now. I did think with the assistant being able to help if you're stuck in a game, and it will help you on what you're supposed to actually do. Suggestions. Imagine I'm just playing I'm playing a game like Overwatch, and I'm just like, oh, give me a strategy to play. I wonder if it actually be any good. But is this also just killing the joy of a game? If AI can just do it for you, what's the point, man? I do use a lot of AI. I'm not totally against it, so if it can be implemented quite well. I don't use Copilot though. I know I see a console as just a way to relax, have some fun on gaming, but then I'm just like, hey Copilot, give me a strategy for this map or something. Or how do I beat this boss? I feel like that does ruin the fun of trying to defeat it yourself. Tool use could be game suggestions. I guess that could be it. You'll be given it access to your data. And also maybe on like a game like Minecraft, it could help. Like I do, or like Terraria, I went on the wiki a lot. But if I'm just like, hey Copilot, how do I craft this? I guess that can help as well. Next! The final main headline before we get in the quick fire round, I want to go over NVIDIA's DLSS 5. So NVIDIA unveiled DLSS 5. So first of all, DLSS has been a really important tool for games. It allows you to render a game at a lower resolution and then using AI to make it look better. So instead of rendering a game at like 4K, it renders it at 1080p. So your PC's having less of a workload, so it's higher performance. Then that AI model steps in and fills in the missing detail, and that allows it to look 4K quality but still run really well. And that DLSS 4 has been really good. It's been game changing as well for the gaming scene. It does have issues as well. Some especially small details can look weird, and fast movement. So that has always been an issue because it's trying to predict on what it should look like. But with DLSS 5, they're introducing real-time neural rendering model that infuses pixels with photoreal lighting and materials. And I'll show you on screen just some examples of video games using it. But at first I was like, the lighting does look good, but the characters, and I know it's quite early on, so you could say it's kind of supposed to come out this fall. They do have a couple months to work on it. It looks weird, and yeah, the characters probably do look better, but I feel like it loses that gaming vibe. The worst one for me is the Hogwarts Legacy one. It makes him look like 45 when it's supposed to be a teenager at school. It doesn't look that good to me, to be honest. I don't know what you guys think, so let me know. Like, it's basically like applying a high quality AI Snapchat filter to the video game, and like you can see, like it does make them more defined. But because it's based on predictions, each scene they might look slightly different. The eyes might be in different places, and I'm not saying it's gonna, especially when they're moving, it's gonna be difficult. They've just done it on like slow scenes for now, and they cut off the FIFA one before it actually showed too much movement. And I feel like it kind of doesn't give the game designers enough credit when, oh, they've just put DLSS 5 on it, and it takes away their hard work. They might not try as hard if, oh, I can just use this. So we might even get worse performance, as a lot of video games already don't perform the best because they're like, with DLSS, we don't need to try as hard to make it run natively, for example, which is how it runs without AI being used. So if we can just use AI to do it, we don't need to put as much quality in. And also, because it's a filter, the rigging of the character is still based on the original render of it. So when the lip movement is based on how they actually designed it, not on the AI. So the lips and movements are gonna look not gonna be synced up well. It's that the developers had to sign off on this. You see Bethesda, Ubisoft mentioning how oh, this is the future of gaming. And there's other companies as well. You've seen Resident Evil, FIFA. They've had to implement it themselves to show in this. So they definitely stand that they're going to use this as well. You'll see this in the probably Starfield showcase soon. And I feel like it's just so uncanny, I don't know. But CEO of Bethesda, Tom Howard, said, Bethesda has such a rich history pushing graphics with NVIDIA, going all the way back to Morrowind with the Incredible Water. When NVIDIA showed us DLSS 5 and we got running in Starfield, it was amazing how it brought it to life. We've played it, we can't wait for all of you to do as well. That just says it all, because NVIDIA is $1 trillion company. There's a lot of partnerships with video games. They kind of have to use it if NVIDIA are promoting it. You need NVIDIA on your side. There's such a monopoly on the graphic card scene as well. But also, this is going to make it a lot harder for developers for like consoles as well, because they use AMD chips, who would only work on NVIDIA's drivers. Yeah, it's still going to put probably a lot more of work in for developers as well, with devices that can't use this, or people that just don't want to use DLSS. Maybe it could eventually work out. They still have a lot of time to polish it. I don't know. I thought video games were going to be safe for a lot longer, but no. Well, that's enough about that. Let me know what you guys think about it. And is this the future of gaming? Next. Okay, we're going to get over the quickfire rounds now. And there's a lot I want to go over in the quickfire rounds. First of all, one of Grammarly's experts is suing the company over its identity stealing AI feature. Grammarly has been using the identities of real people for its expert review AI suggestions without getting their permission, so they are facing a lawsuit from one of the journalists included. There's a report from Reuters saying Trump's administration debates allowing Tencent to keep its gaming states, and this could have a major impact on the gaming industry. Tencent has so many shares in so many different companies, especially in gaming. They own Riot Games, Supercell, Epic Games they have 40% stake in, Ubisoft, Krafton, From Software. And imagine if they had to give all that up. Companies should just raise the prices of everything. The gaming industry could be really impacted by this. We'll just have to see how this develops. OpenAI saw a video generator reportedly coming to ChatGPT. So their video generation model. Social media firms asked to toughen up age checks for under 13-year-olds, similar to those currently in place for those designed for adults. This is for the UK, and the companies that have been contacted included Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Roblox, and X. They should have been told that they should do more to make sure younger children are kept safe online. Another lawsuit, Adobe will pay $75 million to settle US cancellation fee lawsuit, as the lawsuit alleged that the creative software giant harmed consumers by making its subscriptions intentionally hard to cancel and concealing termination fees. I honestly have suffered from this. I did like a free trial with Adobe and I forgot to cancel it. And then I had to pay a cancellation fee of £75 because I forgot to cancel, because they do it on like contracts. So yeah, I've personally suffered from this. And it's good to see. I hate when companies make it so difficult to cancel. Instagram are getting rid of end-to-end encryption like TikTok did, as few people use their DMs saying, if you want encryption, use WhatsApp. Some good news, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight has got a release date change, but it's not been delayed. It's been brought back even earlier. It was originally supposed to be May 29th, but now it will come out on May 22nd. No release date for the Switch 2 version yet, but it will be set to follow later down the line. Some more good news, the judge orders Subnautica 2 studio CEO fired by Krafton originally to be reinstated and gives him full control over early access Steam launch. There was a lot of in-house conflict with Krafton sacking the CEO because Subnautica team were going to hit the target, so by sacking them, it made it so they didn't hit the target, so they didn't have to pay the money. Good to see the Subnautica 2 CEO being reinstated, and this is a game I'm really hyped for and hopefully can actually be quite good. A Saudi Arabian investment firm has acquired a significant stake in Capcom. Meta is apparently laying off up to 20% of its staff. This translates to around 16,000 positions, which would be the largest series of layoffs in the company since it terminated 22,000 over a few months between November 2022 and early 2023. And they can blame it on AI, saying AI is making us more productive and that they'll get even more investment in, so I guess they can use that as an excuse. Even more layoffs with Warner Bros. Montreal. Devs were being laid off. The FBI are investigating malware on Steam after a bunch of indie games were revealed to be hiding malicious files. The games included Block Blasters, Chimere, Dashverse, Dash FPS, Lampy, Lunary, Pirate FI, and Tokyo Nova. The UK have filed a class action lawsuit against Sony for monopolising the sales of video games through the PlayStation Store. The monopolising the sale of digital games via its closed ecosystem, the PlayStation Store. The result is that Sony can and does set the retail prices of all such content without facing any retail competition for digital content. Also, they stress as some of the consoles don't have disk drives, players are obliged to purchase games via the online store as well, so it kind of forces the monopoly as they can only use the PlayStation Store to get games. If successful, the court case could see an estimated 12 million British players compensated for any downloads over the past 10 years, amounting to $215. Also on Sony, I've reported on before that Sony pulling away from putting their games on PC, so the Wolverine won't be on PC. And a Bluepoint dev thinks it's to do with the Steam machine being competition, not the next gen Xbox, so I could actually see this as an argument that the games would be on the Steam machine, so why would people get the PS5 if I could get a Steam machine? That might be better value as it can play Steam games as well. A bit of a disturbing story, AI tools for children misread emotions and respond inappropriately, research has warned, a report on BBC, as researchers are calling for tighter regulation of AI powered toys designed for toddlers. When one 5-year-old said "I love you" to the toy, it replied as a friendly reminder, "Please ensure interactions adhere to the guidelines provided. Let me know how you like to proceed." They gave quite an AI response, and it can misread emotions, and that could actually be quite damaging. If the child doesn't get the "I love you" back, it could be like heartbroken and play with the child's emotions. Overwatch director celebrates no longer being the lowest rated game on Steam, but admits he's not sure what it would take for us to move up the positive score at this point. We're only a few percentage points away from mixed. Fair enough, you gotta take the positives out of that. Embark CEO says some upgraded AI voice lines were re-recorded by human post-launch as there's a quality difference. AI can't replace the thread everything. Silent Hill 2 sold 5 million copies, so Konami are having a big sale on PlayStation Store. Tomb Raider 1 and 3 Remastered gets free challenge mode alongside mobile and Switch 2 release. And finally, Clibs, Cures, Expedition 33 and Dispatch lead the BAFTA Game Awards 2026 nominations. Is that any surprise? Those were incredible games. So that was a lot. And I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe and turn notifications on so you can be kept up to date with the latest gaming and tech news. And I'll see you next week.